Welcome back to Writing and Reading the Declaration of Independence. In this talk, we'll be looking at Thomas Jefferson in preparation, in particular at his 1774 Summary View of the Rights of British America. By the middle of 76, Jefferson was thought of as having quite an ability to write well and compellingly. Jefferson's first published piece was in 74, and that was indeed the Summary View. So that was only 2 years before writing the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson had been a member of the Virginia House of Burgesses since the late 1760s. He was on his way to its meeting in Williamsburg when he was overtaken by illness and had to stop at an inn. Not one to be idle, he put pen to paper and turned out the long Summary View. It was in pamphlet form, it was 32 pages. It was evidently intended as instructions to the Virginians who would be delegates to the First Continental Congress. When the Summary View arrived in Williamsburg, a number of Jefferson's colleagues were so impressed that they raised enough money to have it privately printed. What did it say? Well, I'll read just a few extracts from it. That should give you an impression of Jefferson's manly style. The Summary View is written as though it was a petition to the king, but it starts, "To the king, sir," not exactly the humble and respectful way that a petition would start. Jefferson continues, "The times are big with great events. What will be the consequences it is not in human sagacity to foretell. But if the same system be pursued which for a long time hath employed the attention of your Majesty's ministers, they ought to tremble for their heads. The present contentions with America, if not soon happily terminated, must end in such scenes of trouble, bloodshed, and devastation, which in contemplation alone shock us with horror. But little time remains for deliberation or choice. A blow will lead on to the decisive scene, and the tyranny begun." There are certainly echoes of what Colonel Barré had said in Parliament and what is in the Middlesex petition, but here Jefferson is being much, much more blunt. Jefferson goes on to say something that could well be in the Middlesex petition. "We openly declare that the whole proceedings against our brethren in America, who are entitled in common with ourselves to the privileges of men and the liberties, franchises, and protection of Englishmen, are in open violation of the natural laws of equity and justice." He continues, "Every idea of good policy is sacrificed to maintain and enforce the most vicious and dangerous system that ever infatuated despots pursued." Well, that is hyperbole. That, for sure, is way over the top. He made his point, no question about it. The conclusion of the Summary View sounds like Patrick Henry could have said it. "That these are our grievances which we have thus laid before His Majesty, with that freedom of language and sentiment which becomes a free people claiming their rights as derived from the laws of nature and not as a gift of their chief magistrate. Let those flatter who fear it is not an American art. To give praise which is not due might be well from the venal, but would ill beseem those who are asserting the rights of human nature. They know, and will therefore say, that kings are the servants, not the proprietors of the people. Open your breast, sire, to liberal and expanded thought. Let not the name of George III be a blot in the page of history." Well, that out Tom Paine. And concludes, the great principles of right and wrong are legible to every reader. To pursue them requires not the aid of many counselors. The whole art of government consists in the art of being honest. Only aim to do your duty, and mankind will give you credit where you fail. This, sire, is the advice of your great American Council, on the observance of which may perhaps depend your felicity and future fame. The God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. The hand of force may destroy, but cannot disjoin them. Jefferson did turn out a phrase, "Let those flatter who fear. It is not an American art." And in another place, "Let not the name of George III be a blot in the page of history." Good grief. There's no question why Jefferson was respected as a great writer by the middle of '76.